Hey everybody, this is Kieran Murray and the Lovely,
Sherry Murray.
and we are here with another edition of Bottom of the Bottle. I think this is episode number 7. And so today, what we do in Bottom of the Bottle is we pour a bottle of wine. Today we are drinking this awesome Chandler Reach. This is the
So good.
this is the Paris label, and it's the Cab Franc 2016. It is so good. So here's what we do: we drink the top of the bottle first, and then we start the cameras rolling. The fancy cameras on my Mac laptop.
Hey, whatever works.
We're not real high tech, folks. And then for the bottom of the bottle, we drink that, and we talk about our experience at whatever winery we're drinking. So tonight we're talking about Chandler Reach. So we're going to talk about our experiences at Chandler Reach. We've had some phenomenal ones. We absolutely love it. It's one of our favorite wineries that we've been to. So let's talk about Chandler Reach, all those cool people, their wines, the whole works.
So let's start out by talking about their winery, or actually their building at their winery, because we were actually
A little bit of Italy, a little bit of Tuscany.
right.
Go ahead.
So we were turned on to Chandler Reach through our Let's Talk About Northwest Wines Facebook group. We decided to take.
Which, by the way,
Oh.
is why we started the Facebook group. Let's talk about Northwest Wines, is so that people could we could exchange information with other people, and people could tell us where to go. Since we haven't been to a lot of these wineries, we're like,
Yep.
we'll get other people to tell us where to go. And so someone in that group said, you got to go to Chandler Reach out in Benton City, which was funny because we've driven
We
by
went
it.
Chandler. What?
Yeah, we'd never heard of it, and we've driven by it a ton of times. And I remember we even, we saw the building, went, that's kind of cool, but we never talked about. I
We
wonder if
didn't
that's
really
a
pay
winery.
attention to it.
Yeah, and we never knew the name, but that's exactly why we started the group. Let's talk about Northwest Wines. We thought maybe we'll get 10 people in there to tell us where to go, and tonight I think we'll break 2,800 people.
Wow.
So
And that's just been in the last.
since August 1st. So
August, September, October, November, 4.5 months.
yep. So obviously, lots of people have lots of ideas or want to get information about different wineries, different wines, and they use that as a resource. Just like, we thought we would be doing it with a much, 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 much smaller group of people than what it's turned out to be. So we look at it a year and 2 years from now, and I think it's going to be just crazy. So back to Chandler Reach and the awesome
Well,
building.
and we love that because we are all about experiences, and so we get really super excited to hear about other. Oh my gosh, you and your salami. So we get really, really excited to hear about other people's experiences with wineries, and then we get to go try them out and potentially share them with you guys as well. So it's pretty cool. So back to Chandler Reach. So we went out to do this tasting because obviously somebody said, go check them out. They're amazing. And from the minute that Kieran turned onto the little side road that they're on, I was in absolute awe. The building that they have built for their winery is literally like you're walking into Tuscany. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, you feel like you have a taste of Italy before you even walk in and even try their wines. So we were super, super impressed just from that aspect. And then we were there with some friends of ours. We went in and they weren't doing a true tasting. They were doing a flight. And so we ordered the flight, and they brought out these wines that they were spectacular. They were different from a lot of the other wines that we tend to really enjoy.
There were these really rich Tuscan.
Yeah, it was
like-
again very, very Italian based. And
So we should actually tell them what the actual there was 4 of us. 2 of our really good friends, Todd and Robin Strobeck, were with us. And by the way, before I go any further, don't you love this awesome fake fire behind us? Right. So we just pull up in front of our 75-inch TV and we turn on the fire, and you can hear it back there. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but It's either that or we sit out in the cold on the back deck in front of a real
And it's warm enough in here
a
that
real
it
gas
feels
fire.
like the fire is
Yeah,
going.
the,
So
the heat's going. So anyway, so we all sat down in this really cool place, and it was kind of loud because there were some people in there, but it was still a really cool vibe, right? And so they brought these flights to all of us, and they looked just like this, a nice dark red, and all of us took a sip at the same time, and pardon my French, hopefully no one's going to be offended, but all of us went, holy shit. I mean, all of us, and it was like in unison together, holy shit, and went, what is this? And so, I mean,
there's just something special.
oh, I mean, the four of
There
us
really
fell
is.
in love with these wines immediately. And then we got a charcuterie board that we started pairing some with some of the different meats and cheeses that just made it out, drew out these flavors even more.
Yeah, it's pretty fun when you're sitting there going, oh my God, that cheese right there, that wine. Try those two together. Oh my gosh. I mean, that was literally the experience that we were having. That was the conversation that we were having. It wasn't, it wasn't about anything more than, holy crap, this is phenomenal wine.
You couldn't say the word, could you? Somebody will disapprove of me saying that S word, so I apologize. Actually, I don't. We're old enough now we can say that word, so.
Okay, so holy shit, it was amazing. I don't want you to be in trouble by yourself.
A good wife supports, right?
Right?
A good husband supports a wife.
That's right.
So we're going to be in trouble together.
Yeah, it's not the first time, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last. But it really was truly an experience. And it was experience that we couldn't even put words to other than holy crap or whatever you want to say. I just don't need to keep saying it.
Chicken.
But anyway, so one of the things that
that was every wine we actually had.
There was not a bad option at all.
I mean, all of them were just, it was, oh my gosh, good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I think the next time when we kind of had our breath taken away was when we saw the price points. They were like,
their price points are really, really awesome. So our exposures to really good Washington red wines started. We kind of started pretty high up, and we started with Red Mountain. And
high up as far as price point.
Well, not necessarily even price point, but Red Mountain's grapes, they're just amazing. And so that's kind of what we had experienced. And with Chandler Reach, they're at the base of Red Mountain, so they're not really considered, I guess, a Red Mountain.
They're actually on the other side of the river.
Okay, that's still the base to me.
Well, they can look across the river at Red Mountain, but they're not actually on Red Mountain.
Yeah, because they're at the base of Red Mountain across the river. Anyway.
You know what's funny is I didn't even drink wine until 4 years ago. So 4.5 years ago, we wouldn't even been talking this like it's at the base of Red Mountain or it's across the river from Red Mountain. We didn't even know what Red Mountain was.
Red Mountain is amazing.
Yeah, great wines, great grapes.
But Chandler Reach, so they're not considered a Red Mountain wine. So I guess my point to all of this is Red Mountain tends to have a little bit of a higher price point. So when we're really excited and we love Red Mountain wines, when we go into Chandler Reach, now apparently I'm a little geographically challenged. Anyway, I just assumed that we were still drinking Red Mountain wine. And then when we saw the price points to it, we're kind of floored because it is substantially less than what we were used to seeing.
Great wines, great price.
But the value and the price is amazing.
Yep. And so the people that were working in Benton City that day, I wish I could remember their names because they were really cool. Yeah. Oh, you know what? One of them, the one that was working with us was Crystal, and I think it was her first day. Mm-hmm. And I think the other one was Jessica. Now, if I don't get those right, I'm going to look like a moron. So I hope I got
Megan
those right.
will send you a message and go, "What are you, dumb?"
So they were awesome, but I did have to ask them about the upstairs. So this is the it looks like a villa in Tuscany, right? Yeah. So they have this upstairs and said you couldn't go upstairs. And there was a sign saying, I think the sign said private residence or something. I can't remember. So I inquired about that, and they said that the owner lives over in Kirkland, and when they would come out, that's where they would stay. There was a couple other bedrooms there that they were looking to use for an Airbnb, but that's not going to happen during COVID. So that Megan, the daughter, when she came out, one of those bedrooms was hers. And so I decided that if we were going to join the club, that I should probably have access to that bedroom, and we should now have that bedroom be all of ours,
Now
right?
you see what I have to deal with.
So, so we did. We joined the club. Both couples joined the club right away. We said, "Yep, this is it." Walked the grounds, took some cool pictures. The one thing we didn't get to see when we were there that I hope we get to see next summer is the cellars.
Yes.
So the cellars down below that I can't wait to go see. I'd love to. I hope I can talk him into doing a barrel tasting in the cellar.
I'm pretty sure we can.
Well, I hope I can talk him into that. That would just,
Cross our
that's like
fingers.
my favorite thing, going in and doing a barrel tasting, right?
tasting is pretty cool.
So, so when we left Benton City, we came back over to our side of the mountains, and we live on the west side of the mountains where Woodinville is, and they happen to have a tasting room up in Woodinville, and that's where Megan, the daughter of the owners and founders, she runs the tasting room in Woodinville, and I think we made it up there in about 2 weeks later. And
It was as quickly as we
kind of
could.
my introduction to Megan was when we sat down. There was two other guys in the tasting room having wine, and I think you had gone to the bathroom, but I
did.
told her, I said, "Hey, look, we joined the club. I heard that there was a bedroom upstairs that was yours, but that I cleared that out, and I've got pretty much all your shit in the car. If you can just come out and get it, so that we can now have access to our bedroom." And she kind of, I don't know if she kind of looked at me like, "Who the heck are you? Who talks like that? Who comes and says they're clearing out my room, right?"
I don't think Megan would ever think that. I think she would just step right in and go, "Bring it."
So their Woodinville tasting room is another awesome place. So it's just a super cool vibe. It has when you walk into it, it kind of has that feel that you're in, some sort of, you're in Italy, you're in Tuscany, and then obviously you're going to drink these wines that are just phenomenal. And so I highly encourage you, go to both of them if you can. Go to the main winery tasting room out in Benton City, and we're going to hopefully talk them into hosting us for some events there next spring, summer. And then go to the tasting room up in Woodinville. Say hello to Megan if she's there. The wines are great. You can, pick up a case, pick up whatever, join the club. The wines are just that good, but the people are really cool. We've actually had Megan and her husband came down to our house and brought some wines down, and we had some friends here. But oh my gosh, what a night! We had spaghetti and meatballs and Chandler Reach wine, and just blew the doors off everything, and it was just fantastic. So I don't think there's just enough good things. They have to be. I think we belong to. We were trying to keep our clubs to 10, and I think we went to 13. I think we're going to pare that back to 10. But I have to say, out of all the clubs we belong to, they are one of our favorite clubs because the wine is just so amazing. This Cab Franc we're drinking tonight is spectacular.
It's really good.
And every wine that we crack open is just unbelievable. But the people are super awesome. If you get a chance, go onto their website, the Chandler Reach website, and you can find them online. It's really easy to find them. There's a cool 15-minute video featuring her dad and how the winery was started, which is just awesome. You can tell it was the thought started actually when her dad, when her folks were on a trip with some friends back in Tuscany, and kind of planted the seed of, oh, this winery thing, this could be cool. He had some land out in the Yakima Valley in Benton City, but the thought of ever doing a winery was never there. So this winery was not like the intentional winery of someone who had a great idea, said, let's go start a winery. It was just something that developed. If I remember right, he actually designed the building on an airplane coming home on a napkin, right? Yeah. And so it was just, hey, let's check this out and see what we can do, and never really had a clue what they were doing, and just happened to have some people out in that area that took them under their wings and said, "Hey, we can help you." And at that point, they just simply didn't realize what kind of grapes they could produce in that area on that slope. And so it's just cool that this is a winery that wasn't a very intentional winery. It was, hey, let's see what we can do. And then once they figured it out, then it became very intentional. And the whole thing is obviously very intentional. And everything they do now is very intentional for people like us and people like you to have a great experience drinking their wines, absorbing in the just being in their space and the cool things that happen there. So if you get a chance, you've got to go out and see these guys either in Woodinville or in Benton City. So I'm going to let you finish it off. If there's anything else you want to add, say some nice things about Megan. Maybe she'll give us some money for that or something. Yeah.
Actually, can I see the bottle?
You can.
So one of the things that you guys might get a little confused about when we show you this label and we talk about Chandler Reach, it actually says Paris on here. So just so you know that it is from the same place, but they do have bottles that are labeled with the Paris label. Paris is Megan's dad's last name.
You would see the Chandler Reach on the very bottom but yeah, it's a Paris label.
It's not prominent, so sometimes it gets a little bit confusing. I've had some people go, wait a second, that's not Chandler Reach. It is. It's just it's Megan's dad's last name, and they wanted to be able to have.
Does that mean it used to be Megan's last name?
Well, it used to be Megan's last name.
Yeah,
anyway,
and they did that. So they did that. If you go to get a chance to watch that 15-minute video, he did that because he didn't name the winery after the family name like Paris Vineyard something, and so they wanted to have a wine that had the family name on it. Yep. So it was something that they could carry on. So the Paris, I think, is for club members only. So that's one of the reasons why you should join the club, is to have access to these Paris wines, because they are, I'm telling you, this one is just that we're drinking right now is the bomb. It is so good. But all their wines are just amazing. The Monteregalo, when they came out, they brought so many wines for us to taste, and they were so amazing.
Yeah, Sangiovese is still one of my favorites.
Yeah, Sangiovese.
And they have a Carmenere. They have a really good Carmenere.
Yep. So hey, I think that's probably going to wrap it up, because all you need to know is you just need to go. You don't need anything else from us. Just go. When you get there, if you're up in Woodinville and Megan's working, tell her that we sent you. Hopefully she'll let you stay, because if you're connected to us, maybe she'll say no.
She'll say no. The room is mine.
Yeah. Well, if you're recommended by Sherry, come on in. If it's Kieran, no. Some people have a hard no, and that might be Megan. So Kieran is a hard no, right? No. But get up there and see him. If you get out to Benton City, go see him. And then watch our Facebook group, Let's Talk About Northwest Wines, for events that we do, probably in both. We actually had one in November that was canceled because of the newest COVID restrictions that we're under right now. We couldn't gather, but we had about 40 people who were going to be there for a wine tasting. And so hopefully we can get back up there in January or February or March, whenever they start to relax a little bit, or relax the different restrictions. But hopefully we'll definitely want to be out in Benton City for some big events, some Red Mountain events with maybe a few of the different wineries, but ending at Chandler Reach, or starting at Chandler, probably ending at Chandler Reach one day. But they are phenomenal. You're going to love the wines. You're going to love the people. You're going to love the story of how they started. You're going to love everything about them. So I would highly, highly recommend you get out there and see them. So I think that's all for this one. I'm going to go clink. Cheers.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers to you. Get up and see them. We love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Bottom of the Bottle and Chandler Reach Vineyards. Love you guys. Take care.